Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 vs 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's gonna be none other than Eris, the blue Zerg, taking on Sharkbot. Sharkbot, definitely one of the more entertaining bots there is, and the fact that it plays Protoss is a big plus to it. So, we're going to see how well it can do against the monster Zerg. Eris is just so darn good in that it wins most of its games, seemingly within the 10 to 15 minute mark. It's got incredible macro, great fundamentals in defense, and so we're going to see how well it can do against Sharkbot in this match, as there may be some cheeky cannon shenanigans starting this one off. So ladies and gentlemen, go ahead and click that like button for cannons. And oh, actually a bit of a gas steal by Sharkbot. That's interesting. The bot authors programming their bot to steal the gas of Eris. And yeah, so if we can hit, oh, I don't know, 19 likes for 19 probes on this video, that would be great. Click that, or leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot games. You guys are the best at it when it comes to supporting the channel with likes and comments and everything else. So yeah, thanks so much for that. And we've got Sharkbot going for one pylon at the third, one at the fourth. So going to be doing that thing where it tries to block the Zerg's fourth base. And Eris is actually transferring some drones to deal with this seemingly. So it has seen this pylon. It's actually pulling quite a few drones all the way around to deal with that pylon. However, 4 drones do get on top of it, and so that should be shut down, as Sharkbot hasn't attempted to throw up a cannon there just yet. Is it going to build one now? Yes, it is. Now, Eris is going to retarget and actually go on to that cannon. So the bot authors have programmed it so that their bot actually selects the drones that are already out there fighting the cannon, and then make them... and then retarget them on the cannon, not the pylon, which is interesting. Which is, I guess, is a good way to make your bot actually deal with the main threat. Now, it's not all roses for Eris, as it does have a cannon at its third. It's still got its gas stolen, but Sharkbot did delay itself quite a bit to go for that. Like, it does have a Nexus on the way. It went Forge Nexus, but not before building an extra assimilator, 2 extra pylons, an extra cannon. And so it's tough to say really how effective that is. We'll see if Eris is going to be programmed intelligently, or have, I guess, a case against this cannon in which it'll just decide to expand to its third instead of this cannon that is built at its other potential third base location. Meanwhile, this queen, she's attacking this assimilator between injects, of course, as queen's got to have those injects done. Eris has a roach warren on the way, so it's actually playing it safer, not getting up that third base already, which is something that Eris tends to do. But look at that, it does just expand to that other third location, so that cannon is kind of worthless for Sharkbot, which is why it elects to build them at both bases, which is the intent by the bot author, to block either third. But then the problem is, if one of those gets shut down, there can be a situation which you've doubled the investment essentially, yet got none of the return. So that isn't great for the Protoss bot, but we'll see. Maybe that cannon will get some value later on in this match. Who knows? Eris, though, pumping out a whopping 11 drones. Just one big swell of drones. Gonna give it a nice economy once that third base is finished. Meanwhile, Sharkbot says, oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure what that's in relation to or not, but now we've got Stargates on the way for Sharkbot. And so it is going to be going into potentially an air style mass air. We could see Eris still just getting up that third, making some roaches and ravagers, so playing it a little bit safe. It doesn't seem to be building to any big attack, though, as that third pops on out. Sharkbot does have its own third on the way already, which is quite reasonably timed, I'll say. So that's actually quite nice compared to the third timing of Eris. I think Sharkbot's building into a good economy. We all of a sudden see why Eris invested in those Ravagers to deal with that cannon, and it does get dealt with. Then the Ravagers move on in to attack the pylon once the cannon's dealt with. So great programming by the bot authors of Eris on that, saying, hey, that threat's actually gone now, so go ahead and attack it. You don't just got to use the corrosive biles. Now, Void Rays are on the way for Sharkbot. That should be enough to defend the Protoss bot from any attack for the next couple minutes, because Zerg's really only options to attack a Void Ray player are Queen All-Ins, or with Hydras, potentially Corruptors. And so Sharkbot should just be able to get a Void Ray in position to defend against these Ravagers. There's multiple pylons powering that cannon. And so Eris has to get on out of there. We do have an attempt at a 4th base, but Lings are finding some damage as they chase that probe down. Lucky little probe does escape. Another probe goes to complete the job of getting that pylon at the 4th. So potentially a 4th on the way for Sharkbot soon. Meanwhile, this Void Ray is just cruising around, going to find one Overlord. However, it does have to avoid those corrosive biles, and that is programmed into it. But that actually makes it not hunt down that Overlord, which is unfortunate. Good dodging on those corrosive biles. Meanwhile, in comes this Void Ray. Gonna head towards the natural, or just keep on cruising as it just ignores its problems and hangs out at the back of the natural / 3rd base. Void Rays are engaging these queens, but it is interesting behavior by Sharkbot just to have these Void Rays tucking on back here. They do seem a little bit lost. They could have had other damage, but I'm sure the bot author had something in mind in which they found some other damage, but just didn't materialize. This game we've got an Oracle on the way now, a Phoenix on the way as well. The Phoenix can hunt down Overlords, Overseers. The Oracle, of course, can drop Revelations or Harass or Stasis Wards. Sharkbot is the master Protoss bot when it comes to turtling up, as we've seen in quite a few of its matches. So far, it is staying alive. We do have to get a little worried for Sharkbot, though, as Eris is building up into quite the Zerg force. Cannon takes care of that Ling. That's why Sharkbot likes to build those. And looks like Void Rays do find an Overlord, or at least the Phoenix will take care of it. But yeah, Sharkbot is a very strong bot in the late game. However, it does seem to have difficulties when it comes to defending its bases. Like trying to defend its 4th, trying to defend its 3rd. Sometimes it puts the army not in the perfect position. So we'll see if that's the case when Eris probably inevitably goes for an attack, because Eris is already at 150 supply, 87 drones in building. The Oracle does try and grab a drone. It narrowly escapes there, which is nice for Sharkbot, although they better get all the way out there. Meanwhile, we've got another cannon building at the 5th. That's Sharkbot's approach to securing its 5th, its extra expansions. Build a cannon. It doesn't have to be positioned properly. You don't have to get units over there to work with an observer to clean up the blocking Ling, which Eris, of course, does, as its incredible value. We do have Eris just getting its 5th base finished up. We'll see if Sharkbot's going to get up its own 5th. Keeping pace with the Zerg economy almost. The problem is Protoss has a very high investment threshold when it comes to all the tech it's got to build. Well, all the tech that Sharkbot's electing to build anyway. And now we've actually got the Hydras and Roaches going in for an attack. A battery overcharge is keeping another battery alive, so looking after its battery bro. And so Eris's rather early attack doesn't seem to work out here. However, more Hydras are coming on in, so those Void Rays are going to have their work cut out for them. It's 6 Void Rays. These Hydras are now pushing forward. They may be able to get a cannon, although this is a relatively small portion of the Zerg force, it seems. There is now 1 Colossus out. I believe a second one just popped out too. So those are fantastic against Hydras. And there is a bit of a bug in which in the bot version of this game, Colossus do double damage. I'm not sure if it's been patched at this point yet or not, although they do seem to be packing them. I'm not sure if they're actually still doing that or not. It is always tough to say. I think that is still double damage from the Colossus, but I think we're at the point that the bot version of the game is kind of balanced around that. At this point, it seems, well, not really, but it's just a fact of life at this point. We're not seeing exclusive bots that only build Colossus win every single game. Now, Sharkbot is kind of positioning its army, doing that interesting kind of straddling between bases, trying to get that Ling, but for some reason it's not. We do have a 5th on the way for the red Protoss. Meanwhile, Eris is getting up at 6, getting up lots of production. 2 upgrades about to finish up. Meanwhile, there's Infestors on the way, Neural Parasite. Creepers spreading all over the map, but Eris is ready to go on in and attack as it is maxed out. Roaches are closing the distance, trying to get on top of the Colossus. great battery overcharge is keeping these units alive. A couple gateways almost get picked off, but they're really just doing a great job being damage sponges as they stay alive. And yeah, most of Sharkbot's units are not actually dying to these attacks, so the battery overcharge is doing a lot of work as Sharkbot holds on without too many losses. The important thing to watch right now is the Protoss supply, because if Sharkbot, say, dips below 140, then things will be really concerning. We've got Eris running all over the map with its roaches for now, +3 attack on the way, +3 carapace, probably going to start sometime after that, so 2-2 will be done, which is going to be massively important. Looks like some roaches are moving on in towards this third base, looking for some probe kills. However, Eris or Sharkbot gets on top of that and shuts it down. We do have creeps spreading all over the place still, but Sharkbot holds on to 5 bases for now. In go some roaches, but there is still batteries and plenty of void rays, so the roaches really need more support. It does seem that Eris is going rather roach heavy when it needs some more definitive anti-air, which will probably materialize once this Spire is done in the form of Corruptors or something. We do have a fungal growth hitting quite a few probes. That could be a blow to Sharkbot's economy. Good feedbacks do catch 2 of the infestors. There is 2 more with energy still, though. But Eris is being chased away. We do have spells now starting to be cast as Vipers throw out parasitic bombs. And there is a Queen in a Dropper Lord moving around the map trying to spread the good word of creep, but it's just not happening. And a single roach is harassing as Eris has that great burrow harassment, which the roaches burrow once they take a bit of damage, scoot on out, then eventually go back in. Some roaches are attacking towards the right side now, as a few more on the bottom side do kind of just get deleted, though, as the trades continue not to be the best for the Blue Zerg. Looks like that battery does go down, so that is a pickoff for Eris. But so far, it's having a hard time breaking the Protoss bot and also having a hard time denying bases. Sharkbot is doing pretty well in this situation with getting up more and more bases. And let's see, battery overcharge, or pardon me, not battery overcharge, parasitic bomb catches an Oracle, doesn't get the kill on it. Both these bots are just about maxed out. Eris does have like 1 or 2 more bases available, but they both have very strong economies. And so we'll have to see if Eris can make something happen. It does seem like Eris is going for a less optimal composition than it needs. I'm wondering if the roaches are a response to the Colossus, but then just like 23 roaches against mass void rays doesn't seem to be it. Eris usually, I think, is a little heavier on the Hydras. Right now it's only got 5 Hydras in its composition. Looks like a Cybernetics core may go down. We do see Neural Parasites catching some of the Colossus. Tempest even getting hit with that Neural Parasite. So Sharkbot is going to lose a few of those Colossus as those Infestors get some good value. However, Neural Parasite, much like all good things, does eventually come to an end. Meanwhile, we've got a cannon, or no, not a cannon, just a pylon in the bottom left. Spore Crawler is building there. So Eris has now taken all the bases on the map that are not occupied by Sharkbot. So the top right, the bottom left, those are 2 bases that will give Eris a potential bigger economy throughout this game. Infestor Neurals, a Tempest once again, but then does go down. We've got Eris saying Baneling drop being planned, so that's cool to see. But so far, Sharkbot does maintain a good economy. It's getting great trades. 8,500 resources lost to 220,000. So that is already about the equivalent of 1 base, I believe. So Eris may need to start taking some better trades. There may be Broodlords getting added in, more Corruptors, more Infestors, as Eris decides to go on in once again, but it does seem to be attacking with rather odd groupings of units, as just a small portion of its army moves on in and dies. Meanwhile, some goes towards the right. So it may just be the pathing that's really crippling Eris here. Of course, the composition I don't think is ideal. Roaches are not what you want against Void Rays. And so yeah, Eris is having a tough time. No counter damage is really getting done. There is a random Ling hanging out here. But the composition does need to change for Eris at some point. Or it needs to go on the defensive and not fight at this 5th base location. That could be a game changer. A single Baneling's going to roll on in, catches a few probes. We'll see if there's going to be more. Sharkbot is pushing towards the upper right-hand side. It wants to clear out this location, so then it can take the base. Couple Banelings roll in. They do hit a Colossus, but they're not going to kill it. Eris needs more units on this location right now. I'm guessing some supply is caught up in production. Time Warp goes down. The Void Rays are just getting insane efficiency for Sharkbot. They're not really dying. The Colossus are staying alive. And the Protoss bot has got a good enough economy that it can just replace any units it loses as well. So Eris really needs to do something a little different, get some better trades. A couple Banelings are going to roll in, but I mean, the Stalkers are happy to absorb those. Well, maybe not happy, but they're going to do it anyway. We've got Corruptors closing in on a Colossus, so that's going to be a nice pickoff potentially for Eris, and it is, but the problem is there is still 2 more Colossus out there. The Corruptors could be a good addition, though, for picking off some of these Void Rays, picking off the Colossus. Looks like another Colossus goes down, and that may be the final one going down. It does barely stay alive. That may improve the success or the composition of Eris if it can feel free to make more Hydras now that there's less Colossus to worry about, too. We do have the Zerg still holding the space in the top right. That's very important as this game continues on. Corruptors are trading out against these Void Rays. They're a very microable unit, which is where they get their strength. So even against Void Rays, they can kind of poke in, get pickoffs, poke out, and look at that, just micro. However, a Time Warp catches the Corruptors. We have a Neural Parasite on a Colossus, though. It's shooting its friendly Archons. More Neural Parasites going down. Feedbacks catch some of the Infestors, but the spells are already cast, and they're not canceled. We see Fungals going down for Eris. Prism dies. Disruptor gets yoinked forward in that Prism. Meanwhile, Corruptors are being chased away by the Archons on the ground, though. There's not enough of a ground force for Eris to deal with this. Both these bots are trading out against each other. Sharkbot retreats to a battery, 2 cannons to support the Void Rays, and the Void Rays still are kind of unanswered, as roaches on the ground aren't going to cut it. Sharkbot actually replaces some of those Void Rays. It's making a new Colossus, making a new Tempest, so really just maintaining the same unit composition. That was the worst trade I think we've seen Sharkbot take all game, though, so maybe that's cause for concern. We're also seeing Eris maintain these spaces. Sharkbot's trying to poke the bottom left. It tried to poke the upper right, but so far hasn't broke either of those locations. We've got more upgrades going down to Adrenal Glands, +3 melee on the way. I am surprised by the roach count of Eris this match, though. Really maintaining a high number of roaches, having lost 106. Hydras are present on the map, though. They are trying to pick off the Void Rays, but man, oh man, Sharkbot has been spending its hard-earned money on lots of cannons, on lots of batteries, and what a wall this is. An Archon seems to even be stuck in there as the Roaches and Hydras fall on these cannons, but there's too much support. A battery overcharge, and then just regular batteries, too, healing these cannons up. Sharkbot's army is kind of split in the middle of the map, so not really responding to this attack, but the cannon wall holds firm. And yeah, what a match that is that we have so far. 18 minutes into Golden Aura. Another mothership is being built, so I guess the last one did perish in that fight. We've also got this Disruptor still just hanging out, tosses out a Nova, but everything else gets killed anyway. We've got a Neural Parasite going to catch one of the Tempest, but that's not going to get that much done, I don't think, because Sharkbot doesn't target its own units. Eris isn't walking it forward into the Spore Crawlers or anything like that. Meanwhile, we've still got an attack hitting this cannon wall, but it's just not being broken. If some Broodlords can get on those cannons, that would be huge. We have yet to see that happen, though. We do have 5 Broodlords being produced by Eris, though. This Zerg bot, it's really just spending its money as soon as it gets it, though. That is one of the features of Eris. Whether it's going to take a good attack or not, it will attack when it's at 200 supply. And yeah, what a trade this has been for Sharkbot. 40,000 resources lost to 21,000. The Protoss bot still is down on bases compared to its opponent, so it will mine out faster than Eris. I mean, the Natural's gone, the Main's gone, the 3rd and 4th will be next to go. Eris has got those 2 extra bases it can mine from for a little bit longer, so we'll just have to keep an eye on whether that's enough to bridge the gap. Which bot will go completely broke first? Sharkbot is building a little bit of a bank, but it spends its money on cannons and high-value Protoss units, so that may go sooner than we think. We do have Eris, though, just spending its money as soon as it gets it, and actually falling dangerously low in supply right now, going down to 174 as Sharkbot holds the line. Roaches are doing their thing. trying to harass, but the cannons of Sharkbot really are the counter to Eris. I actually just recently played Eris today and played Protoss, and I can tell you that cannons do seem to be the best way to defend against its relentless harassment. If you guys haven't watched that video, go ahead and check it out on the channel. It'll be the video before this one. And let's see. Sharkbot is pushing out. Eris is now on the defensive end. Defense usually means better trade, so we'll see if the Blue Zerg can get an engagement to deal with this Protoss death ball or not. It's not easy. Sharkbot's got 3 prisms to juggle its units. I mean, there's spore crawlers all over the place. Eris is just running around with its units still. I would love to see Eris maybe go for some Broodlord harassment. As, I mean, Broodlords are pretty darn good. We've got a spore crawler forest to retreat to. Meanwhile, good spells are getting tossed out by the Blue Zerg. We'll see if there's going to be more or not. Corruptors are skirmishing. Archons on the ground are taking damage for Sharkbot. We'll see if Sharkbot retreats or whether it's going to try and push on in. It is trying to extend its cannon line deeper into the map, but it is wisely pulling back, it seems, not overextending. Eris is holding on its spore crawler forest. This looks almost like a pro match where it's that stalemate late game PvZ, and just constant trades though are the thing. Both these bots at incredibly high APMs just microing multiple units all over the map at the same time, and then there's one big engagement going on in the middle. We do have more neural parasites going down for Eris. Colossus joining the Zerg side. Corruptors doing what they can. That Colossus does get some good swipes off on the ground army of the Protoss, but the neural parasite ends. Eris doesn't really get the trade that it needs. The Void Rays in the skies are just doing so much work for Sharkbot. I'm curious if either of these bots have had any significant adjustments to their late game composition lately to maybe make them have better success against each other, or worse successes. I mean, Eris was making a lot of roaches early, and I'm not sure that it always does that. Maybe, yeah, so maybe that's a tweak. Maybe it's just a response to Sharkbot's changed composition, and that's why Sharkbot seems to be having some good success here. We've got that cloaking field being utilized. Fungals are getting tossed on down by Eris all over the place, but it's yet to be able to get that big fight it needs. It is getting a Void Ray pickoff, almost grabs a Prism with the Corruptors. The Zerg force is lurking in the north. Corruptors moving on in. Infestors going in, tossing down a Fungal. Quite a few of these Protoss units are bruised on up. Broodlords are getting taken out, though. Corruptors are doing what they can. This trade isn't as bad for Eris. I'll actually say it's not terrible. The problem is Sharkbot does have a little bit of a bank to fall back on. However, that third is now mined out for Sharkbot. That fourth will be next to go. Eris has got these outer bases that are still mining a little bit more. Although, I mean, that Zergbot is really starting to run out of bases too, as it may have been mining a little bit more, a little bit faster than Sharkbot. So it doesn't actually have that big of a bank or that big of an economy to fall back on. Eris just constantly trading out. We're at 33,000 resources lost to 62,000. I don't know if that's a number that the Blue Zerg can come back from, as Sharkbot is just, yeah, just whittling Eris down, it seems. Eris is kind of whittling itself down as it attacks and it attacks and it attacks, but it doesn't get the pickoffs it needs. I really would love to see whether one Broodlord harassment would be effective against Sharkbot, because of course Broodlords can kill an unlimited number of cannons. They require a kind of specialized response, being a Void Ray or a multiple stalkers or something. So who knows, maybe that would have improved things for Eris. Although there is of course the one Phoenix for Sharkbot, which is still it's meant to counter those air units that are harassing. So Sharkbot is just playing a pretty solid game. It is now trying to break the bottom left of Eris, as Eris seemingly has to fall back a little bit as it goes down in supply. Corruptors have been trying their luck against the Void Rays, but I mean, Void Rays with Archons underneath them would just, I mean, a mothership there to support them too. You really need like quite a few Corruptors, and you need more spell support. And just with Eris having, once again, 22 supply and roaches, I feel like that's really taken away from its late game composition. Hydras are skirmishing, trying to defend this base, and they will definitely be able to do that. Eris is still maintaining a maxed out supply, and it's actually still mining quite a bit more than Sharkbot. So maybe it's going to be able to just weather the Sharkbot storm. Sharkbot is incredibly short on gas right now. It's lost the third, soon to be losing all the geysers at the third. So gas income will fall, and it's spending it as soon as it can get it, really. You'd think with all these cannons that Sharkbot has, it would be short on minerals, but no, it's short on gas, as it's just, I guess, been making so many High Templar and that kind of thing. So many High Templar, so many Archons. Eris is looking to attack on in once again. It is risky attacking into all this static defense because it's 120 for supply of Protoss and then a bunch of cannons to boot. That's just not easily assailable. So Eris was doing okay on the defensive, but I'm not sure about this attack. It does pick off some of those High Templars, so it is getting that gas value once more, though. But then again, it is really going to be running dry itself in a couple minutes here. Eris, I think, really just is better on the defensive in this case. And so it does fall back after that poor attack. Broodlord's still getting some shots off on the ground army. However, there is batteries and cannons galore to heal these units up. Corruptors move forward, but, I mean, these Protoss units, they can be healed and supported by the batteries. That mothership does almost go down. Eris wants it, but I'm not sure it's going to get it. Flying over Void Rays, Archons losing. I mean, they just delete everything. Parasitic Bomb will kill off that Phoenix, so it's not like Eris isn't getting any kills. It does need to defend this bottom left location. I mean, there's not really many minerals left here, although there is gas, which Sharkbot definitely could be eyeing up. I think the Zerg does need to change its composition up a little bit here. Something a little more gas heavy, as it is running out of minerals. But, yeah, Sharkbot is just doing that turtle push with so many cannons, 46 cannons, 30 batteries to boot. And Eris is having a hard time maxing out once more. Its income has fallen a little bit in the past minute. With that gold base gone, that means it's going to be slower to replace the units that it loses. And it's lost 77,000 to 41,000. And, I mean, 2 bases almost makes up for that. So it is going to be a little bit close. Sharkbot, I mean, it's now mining out the gas at the 4th, too. So Sharkbot's gas income is really falling. And, oh, it's even mined out this location. So there's only like 800 gas left for Sharkbot to mine. So we'll see if Eris can potentially trade out long enough and have enough resources that, who knows, maybe things will tip in Eris's favor. Look at that, Sharkbot falling down in supply and not able to replace its army either necessarily. Eris, though, is in exactly the same boat, so this is a bit of a close match. I think the defensive bot will be the one that comes out ahead here, so we'll see if Sharkbot's going to attack and Eris defends, or whether Eris is going to attack and Sharkbot defends. As, yeah, Sharkbot does still have quite the army. Roaches can harass almost an unlimited amount, though I'm not sure they'll really get anything at this point in the game. Eris is mining this gas. It would be cool to see if it does just add in more infestors, since it's got plenty of gas to mine still, but not a ton of minerals left. Roaches and Hydras are moving forward, engaging the static defense, but then they pull away. Both these bots are just chilling for now, trying to reach max out. More roaches on the way for Eris. 21, it says I need 30 roaches, which seems a little bit too much if you ask me. Meanwhile, drones, like, hey, you got resources over here? You got some resources for us? And a Sentry and High Templar on the defensive mode. Defense of that, it seems. 2 units, which could actually be killed by drones if not microed right, funnily enough, but there's plenty of cannons and batteries to defend. Meanwhile, Eris still just mining out. The blue bot is going to max out soon, which does make me concerned that it's going to go for an attack, because if it does attack, I'm not sure it's ever going to be able to replace everything it loses. These mineral patches are really starting to run out. It's like 1,000 minerals left for Eris. That is it. One army against really one army. A Sharkbot is just about maxed out, so it's going to come down to that fight. A high-value High Templar did just get picked off. Eris is charging forward. And this is quite the Zerg death ball here. These cannons, the static defense doesn't really stand up. Of course, the roaches do get value when cleaning this up, because they can take damage, then they can just retreat. Hydras, they can't just burrow away easily. We're now seeing Sharkbot come on in, though. It says, get on out of here. Disruptors get tossed out. Eris does seemingly back up a little bit. It did take some losses there, but it did get some pickoffs of Sharkbot. The Zerg is taken not exactly a great fight as only some of the blue units attack that Protoss Death Ball. A fungal catches Sharkbot's army. Neural Parasite's going down too. Is there going to be any more fungals or neurals to help out? Looks like Sharkbot is even bringing probes into the fight now too. And man, oh man, both these bots are really playing with not much left at all. Sharkbot has basically got no gas income. It's literally out of gas to mine. Man, oh man. Eris has got a tiny bit of minerals left to mine, some gas to mine too, which could be important. That could very well be infestors or whatever. So it's going to come down to literally these last armies. How well these bots manage their individual units. Sharkbot's pushing towards the upper right. Even if it does take this out, it's not like it's going to be gaining much. There is, well, I mean, I guess it would be a lot. 500 minerals at this point in the game is an incredible amount. And I was getting worried for Eris, but, I mean, it's not in a terrible spot. Every unit that gets rebuilt at this point will not be replaced. Sharkbot's making zealots, which is cool that it's at least spending its minerals since it can't really make anything else. But at the same time, it is just zealots, and they very well could be picked off if they're going to run in like this. Just Sharkbot Prism Micro is so cool. That is one of the underrated features of Sharkbot, just keeping those units alive in the Prism, juggling them. These bot authors, they don't just try and program necessarily the best bot, they do it in cool ways too, doing things that humans can't necessarily do, as we see those Archons being juggled. Sharkbot is looking to push on in here, engaging into Spore Crawlers. This mineral patch isn't mined out just yet, 340 left. Is Eris going to move to defend this location? It doesn't really look like it, as some Zealots do move in and attack, but they just get picked off. That's supply that will never be replenished in this game. Those drones are now starting to run for it. We're seeing tag Eris Siege Enemy. I don't know what that means, but it goes to show that these bots have some late game thought that this is happening 31 minutes into the match. Eris may be trying to pull Sharkbot's attention away, if it does just siege with these Broodlords, and that's exactly what it's going to do. Will this pull the army of Sharkbot away? But no, looks like Eris is actually going for a fight, but without the Broodlords, which isn't good. Roaches on the ground against the Archons, Corruptors in the sky against this Air Force of Sharkbot. The question is, will there be enough anti-air for Eris? And I mean, it's picking off Void Rays. It's picking off the mothership. That's gone. That's not coming back. That wasn't a bad trade at all for Eris. Is the Blue Zerg going to do it, as now we've got Infestors and Broodlords, Hydras on the right side. I'd prefer to see the Hydras just sit back and not potentially die against these cannons, actually. They are kind of microing as well as they can, but they do got to be careful. Broodlords on the ground are more than capable of cleaning this out. These Hydras, once they die, they are not coming back either. The space in the top right isn't really mining anymore. Eris, I mean, did it just lose some of its roaches? No, there's still 20 out on the map. Looks like they're going towards the bottom left, so it's actually a bit of a fight, but what are the Infestors doing? No, don't do it, Infestors. Gosh, those Broodlings are the only reason those Infestors are alive, soaking the cannon shots. I mean, but look at this. These cannons, they've killed so many Hydras, and they just keep healing up. They just get healed by these batteries, and that means the Hydras are dying for nothing. That is supply dying for Eris. Critical anti-air, too, as I mean, it's only 6 Corruptors against 8 Void Rays with the 4 Hydras to support. I mean, there was 10 Hydras before that. I don't think I've ever seen a bot game this close. As the Broodlords, they are working away on the Nexus, but yeah, the Hydras for Eris, they are just going to go on in and die against the cannons, die for nothing. That's going to put Eris down in supply, really cripple the anti-air. There is, of course, Spore Crawlers, Infestors, and Vipers as really strong anti-air. Battery Overcharge is going to try and save the day. Sharkbot, who knows, maybe it can mine the 160 minerals here, and it actually is, so it may get 2 more Zealots. We shall see. Eris is still mining a little bit of gas, but it's got no minerals left. What you see is what you get in this game, pretty much. Broodlings are doing their thing, helping clear out these cannons. It very well could come down to a base race. Eris versus Worker Rush at 3408. Apparently, Eris is reacting to Sharkbot's aggro probes. So that's a little bit bizarre, but you gotta love it. These bots are doing exactly what they're programmed to do. Whether what they're programmed to do makes sense is a different question or not. We do have Eris coming back to try and defend against this attack forward by Sharkbot. I mean, that's not necessarily ideal as these units are going down. Those are dead roaches, but every unit that Sharkbot loses won't be replaced too. We do have Broodlords moving towards the north. Again, roaches are trying to do what they can and retreat against these cannons, but units are dying, and those are not coming back. Broodlords are still sieging. It's going to take so long to get through all these cannons and batteries, and we really are in what looks like a full-on base race right now. I mean, even these probes dying is significant. That's buffering potential lost for the Protoss. This Zealot dying could be important too, and it does actually Paris, but then again, roaches dying as well is just as problematic for Eris, if not more, actually. We've got Corruptors looking for pickoffs, but looks like one of them does die. They are fighting without the support of the Infestors, without the support of the Vipers if they're still alive. And Eris actually elects to build a drone. I'm not sure what that's for. I guess it says I need to mine that gas. And there goes the last of its money. I don't even know where Eris got the minerals to... I guess, was it long distance mining, that mineral patch or something? Yeah, I don't know where I got the minerals for that. Broodlords are still doing their thing, trying to cut through the base of Sharkbot, but very slowly. Spore Crawlers are not really getting any pickoffs. There is one Broodlord out on the map. It's got to be careful. Corruptors are coming on in. There is Vipers, Parasitic Bombs. Double feedback catches the Vipers. That is really painful. And the Corruptors aren't really getting the pickoffs they need. They do take out one of the Void Rays. A Fungal Growth catches the Prism. Neural Parasite goes down on the Colossus. That's going to help deal with what little remains of the ground army of Sharkbot, but then the anti-air for Eris, I'm just not sure it's there, as, yeah, Eris's army has really fallen off right now, and Void Rays are cutting through everything. The Blue Zerg just didn't take as careful of a fight it needed. A Neural Parasite does hit that Colossus, so it's going to be shooting everything it can. It may actually even kill those Archons, which is a big deal. And then it runs away. The problem is there is still an Observer. But then the Neural Parasite, once again, it's going to allow this Colossus, that's at 124 kills, by the way, to just be pulled forward. But the problem is then that Infestor dies, and that is a very critical Infestor. There is one more that's still out there lurking around. It's 48 supply against 14, though. 6 Void Rays, 4 High Templar. These Void Rays have been real MVPs. How many kills? 31 on that one. 23, 19, and that Colossus 128 kills, and those aren't free unit kills, those are real unit kills. 100,000 resources lost for Eris in this match, 64,000 for Sharkbot. I think Sharkbot is going to take this one. There's just no way that Eris can, unless like some crazy spellcasting happens with these two units, but as we've seen all game, Eris hasn't been quite as careful as it needed to be with its units. Sharkbot's now cleaning out this bottom left. It may want that gas, but can't really do anything or even take that gas anymore. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you've watched up until this point, go ahead and click that like button. We may have a draw here if neither of these bots kills all the opponent's buildings, but Sharkbot is actually being quite careful as it does that. Colossus and Tempest cutting through these Spore Crawlers now, and they are going to do that. Meanwhile, Eris, it doesn't really have anything that can actually attack at this point. Yeah, it's literally just got Spellcasters. The two Corruptors are hanging out doing their thing. And yeah, what a match this has been. I was kind of worried that Eris was just going to really die hard with the rate it was burning money, but this game was incredibly close. The problem is, though, Eris doesn't have many structures left, really just what's left here, and although, as I say that, there's the bottom left. So this game could very well be a draw, depending how quickly Sharkbot gets its act together. It's got to cut through all these bases still. The Spore Crawlers have been slowing things down a little bit. And meanwhile, Eris has kind of just hit the wall that bots do. It doesn't really know what to do at this point with its few measly units. It's got a couple drones scampering around. But that drone, I don't know what that's looking for. Does it? Yeah, it thinks there's money in there. And what a greedy little drone. As Sharkbot is taking its time to clean this up. We'll see if this is a technical draw or a win for the Protoss bot. As I believe the timer is 44 minutes in these bot games. Maybe it's an hour. Don't quote me on that, but it's still got a ways to go for cleaning up all these buildings. Tempest shooting away on that Roach Horn. Looks like this army may meet its maker as the Colossus and Void Rays come looking for it. The Infestor knurls the Colossus. Unfortunately, it will be a true Colossus to the end. And doesn't go down. Returns to the Protoss side. The Viper doesn't toss out its spell, interestingly enough. I wonder what the requirements are for Eris to utilize Parasitic Bomb. And yeah, let's see. That base in the bottom left. Still alive. Nothing to be mined there, though. That last drone is now dead. There's still buildings for the Zerg, though. Sharkbot is really taking its time to clean this up. It's got to get its act together if it wants to get the actual win. There's nothing stopping it, but it is difficult to program a bot to kill off a bunch of buildings, I guess, when there's plenty of choice as far as what to kill, whether it's... Like, Sharkbot doesn't know it's killed everything Eris has. It's just doing what the bot author has programmed. Like, I'll just check the map, look for a fight, but there's no fight to be had, so it's taking its time, it's being cautious. It now... I mean, it doesn't... I mean, Eris actually hasn't been revealed, so it doesn't really have that as a prompt to know that it's time to clean everything up as well. Sharkbot now moving towards these remaining extractors. Then it's just that base in the bottom left, I believe. And that would be it if Sharkbot does go and kill those. And it is heading that location, that way. Are we going to have a victory for Sharkbot and not let this game expire due to the timer? I think we are. And there is one extractor left, but oh no, Sharkbot, actually kill it, please. Don't wander away. GG, Sharkbot takes it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you watched to the end but you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Leave a like, leave a comment down below to help with the YouTube algorithm. And if you do want to support the channel, consider becoming a YouTube member, or there is a PayPal link down below. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching this 42-minute cast. Take care.